What's up, everyone? I know there's a missing chair there. Oh, well, Scott, I don't know where he's at, but welcome to another edition of the Starlight Digest, a podcast bringing line talk and digesting Star Wars topics over 1,000 years. This is episode 189, being recorded on December 14th, 2022. I'm your host, Dark Moocher, and Scott barely making it in.
We're not live or nothing. We're not live or nothing, Scott. Just jump in and start huffing and puffing while Marco's doing his intro. Don't worry about us. We're here for you, Scott.
Yeah,
we're here.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Right on.
Wow. We got Scott Solo here.
What's up, nerds?
We got Grand Admiral Franz.
Yo there.
And we got Bootleg Joe.
Hey, yo.
All right, before we get started, of course, like we always do, actually a kind of exciting show this week for you guys. We have the worst of list going on. We actually are going to discuss some in production Star Wars stuff that kind of gets exciting because that will kick off 2023. Good news, bad news. We'll have to get into it and see what's up. But before we get into all that good stuff and we start geeking out about Star Wars, we have our Patreons to thank and shout out and worship and just tell them they're the best. So Scott, I'm gonna hand out to you.
All right. Hey, at least I'm prepared for something tonight. Thank you to all of our Patreon patrons. We appreciate you and all that you do for us. Without you, Grand Admiral Franz would not have the cold medicine that he is taking right now, so he doesn't just pass out on the computer. And Bootleg Joe wouldn't have eaten that Big Mac or double or whatever the hell he had. Just a second. Quarter pounder. He had a quarter pounder. He wouldn't have been able to pound that quarter pounder without donations from you. So we really appreciate you. Please log in. That's right. Please log in to patreon.com/Sarlacc Digest Podcast and donate a couple of bucks a month. We really do appreciate it. Like these folks here. We have Nicholas Schaefer, Ryan and the Star Joes, Cliff, Don and Brady of the Escape Pod podcast on the Red 5 Network, Flavy Davy, formerly of the Nerds with Attitude podcast. Now, Darth Moocher and I got to hang out with Flavy Davy this weekend at the SoCal G.I. Joe show. And that dude is a cool guy. I'm very glad that he's one of our Patreon members. He's just a cool guy. And,
absolutely.
I got to meet
one of our Patreons. It's awesome.
Actually met up with him again yesterday at lunch, and he's like, "Damn, that Marco guy's cool dude." And I'm like,
"Wow,
yes, he is. Yes,
he didn't have enough.
But
time
I'm not gonna.
guys.
But I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna tell him that though, because I don't want to give Marco a big head. So also on the Patreon list, we've got Don the Dad Dorn, Mervine, Gavin Connor of the All Cure Holy Hour podcast, Brandon and Anya Epler, AJ from the Forbidden Panel, who, by the way, was also at the SoCal Joe show, and, of course, our little buddy, Fanboy Mike. Love you, Fanboy.
Nice.
All right.
Very cool. Yeah, I love meeting anybody that's, that can geek out with us every week in Star Wars. But it's also keep that energy going over there, Scott, because our pit is being digested also, because I see another person that we hung out with in the pit. That was awesome.
Pit is a poppin' here. We've got Jordan from Canada. What's up, Jordan? We've got, it's Don the Dad Dorn. He's in there too. Hey, Dad, how's it going?
What's up?
We've got Gavin Connor, hey ho, with his Santa Claus there. We have Mr. Santo 1414, who we also had the pleasure of hanging out with at the SoCal Joe show. It was like a reunion.
A Santo sighting was awesome.
That's right.
Yeah.
We've also got Gordon and Skyrider in there. So, if you're not speaking up, speak up. There's conversations to be had in the pit.
There absolutely is, because we got a lot of stuff that would probably get heated maybe in a minute here. But before we get into like some of the news and stuff, last week we did the best of Star Wars, right? We did a list of the best of Star Wars. And we put a poll on our community tab in our YouTube with pretty much what we came up with as our top moment. And it is pretty much unanimous that the internet, our pit, us, we all agreed that the best moment in Star Wars of 2022 was Vader versus Kenobi. That is your big winner. And absolutely the best thing that Disney gave us. And it was epic in all proportions. So
it's hard to argue that. That's the magic you're talking about when you're missing out other shows, right? Kenobi Vader is something that pulls your heart. It pulls it's action. It's the color, the vibe, the feel, the nostalgia. It's hard to beat that.
Yeah. Yeah. When you know you didn't need it in your life and you got it and you're like, how can I live without it?
Yeah.
Boom. Biggest
Yeah.
moment in the history in Star Wars history, actually. One of
And
the
I'm
biggest moments. Yeah.
I'm sure there will be a poll this week too, so you can also vote on your least favorite
Yeah.
thing to happen in Star Wars
Right.
this year.
Which
So-
is fun too. I mean, we're
Yeah.
not mad at things, but we're gonna get into some of the things that just made us like, come on,
It's like I always say, you've got pizza. You can have a really good pizza, or you can have a bad pizza, but at the end of the day, it's still pizza. It's
we
still
still
Star
had pizza
Wars.
on Wednesday,
Hey,
so like bonus,
right.
It's a pizza.
Mando
Just say
Mike
what
joining
Yeah,
us
hey,
in the
you guys
chat.
sure you
and,
want to open this door? You sure?
oh,
you
we're
wanna open
opening
this
it.
door?
We're kicking it open, dude.
Especially when Mando Mike's already starting. You sure?
Yeah,
you wanna
but
open that
see,
door?
we silence him in the pit, so he doesn't really have a like Mando Mike. You really don't have a voice, but you do. I don't know. I'm kidding, man. Like, we won't get you started that much, but we'll see. Let's get into the stuff that happened within the last 7 days of production in Star Wars. Right, we had people, because things are moving along. The 3 shows that are moving along right now, as far as in production, is the Acolyte, Skeleton Crew, and there's even talks of Rogue Squadron coming back into the fold. I'll start with that.
That one's in pre. The other 2 are
Yeah,
in
that one's
production.
still-
That one's in pre, and Ahsoka's in post. Right.
The last time we checked, Rogue Squadron was gone. It was canceled. It was off the slate. It was all these things. Now, Patty Jenkins, who was slated to direct, write, and all that stuff, before her tweet here, it was said that she was out, but Rogue Squadron was still on the table. Don't fret, everybody.
Oh yeah, don't fret. Let's fret.
Yeah, don't fret, everybody. Patty Jenkins publicly announced that she's going nowhere. I'm putting this in one of the worst things in 2022.
Right. No, so here's the thing. First of all, okay, I'm no big fan of Patty Jenkins' last work. I'm not too thrilled about Rogue Squadron anyway. Right.
Yeah.
But look at this tweet that she put out. Who has that kind of room to put that anywhere? Right. Like,
seriously.
she typed it up and then tweeted a picture of it because there was too many words to do a thing. No director or actor or anything should have to come out and fight clickbait, right? Yep. But she's been having to do this. Gunn has been doing this. All these guys have been coming out really in the press to say stuff before or to fix clickbait lately, right? And they're all over it. So this one basically is saying, look, she had originally left Rogue Squadron to go to Wonder Woman 3, right? Then
Wonder Woman 2 happened.
Right, Wonder Woman 2 happened, and she didn't leave Wonder Woman 3. Like the backlash was she was leaving that for Star Wars, blah, 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 blah. She was leaving Star Wars so she could do Wonder Woman. Once that fell through at the change with Gunn coming in, and she understands that in this tweet, Gunn's going in and wrecking shop right now, right? We just got news in the last hour or two that Cavill's out as Superman after he lost his after he quit Witcher to be Superman again. So that's completely jacked up, right?
Something's going on.
But they're making changes over there, so that freed her back up. So she's still Rogue Squadron is all that to say, and in here, Rogue Squadron is still on the plate. Whether it gets done, we don't know. She says it in here too. Pre-production means that it's in pre-production. Nothing is a go until it's in production. It can get stopped day one of production. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So you're not going to see anything until we're for sure going to see something. But she's not out. Like you said, I don't want Rogue Squadron. I think I would mess my head up. I'd rather just leave it. If you're going to do something with Rogue Squadron, do a Disney Plus series. I don't trust big action films right now, big Star Wars films right now at all.
No, I again, I speak for myself. I never liked her on a Star Wars project anyway. I didn't, I don't care for her movies. So
she said all the right things at the beginning of it, where it was going to be like Top Gun meets Star Wars and the whole bit. But then, Top Gun Maverick came out and redid Star Wars. So it's, I don't know if we need Top Gun Star Wars now. And plus there was a lot of confusion about the timeline and where it was going to lay. And, the
timeline is what made me nervous. Yeah,
the timeline makes me nervous too. Rogue Squadron needs to be in the era of the Empire, and they were talking First Order or the beginnings of the First Order, and I'm like, no. But that being said, that was all hearsay. We never actually, we have no idea what is actually being produced or written for it. And Rogue Squadron, I still say, is one of my favorite books in the old canon, in the old Legends series of books. So, and Stackpole was in. He said that he had read some of what she wrote, and
they introduced the character.
Everybody was in on Green Lantern too.
Yeah,
let's remember that.
That's right. That's very true. Cliff chiming in here with maybe Patty and Ryan could work on that new trilogy together.
Oh boy.
Hey, you know something? I would rather have all the bad people work on a trilogy or if they're going to do it and instead of spreading it out. You know what I mean? Like,
I think that's why the Disney Plus things kind of do work better, because each week you have a different director, so a chance to save last week. When you do a big film and Patty has the whole film, she's going to F it up from front to end, right? If you have you might have the same writer on like say Mandalorian, but you've got 7 different directors. Hey, I can turn this script into something else this way, and now you have a chance to save an episode every week.
And that's why, agree. And when it was solely her project, beginning to end, writing, directing, all that stuff, I was just like, and it's coming Wonder
Woman 84 was a nightmare. I mean, that movie was a travesty. And man, whenever that came out, I was pumped for it at first because I really did thoroughly enjoy the first Wonder Woman movie. So I was excited.
Yeah. Well, I was pumped when they showed the slate and it said Rogue Squadron and it said that's a theatrical movie. I'm like, okay, there's our next theatrical movie. And this kind of segues into the 2 that are in production now, the Acolyte and the Skeleton Crew, because with Disney Plus, with the Marvel stuff, with the Star Wars stuff, and everything else that Disney Plus got going, I think they kind of backing themselves in a corner with the subscription service that they have to have like hit after hit after hit and turnaround series after series, because it's a subscription base. People cancel and then they up it when a new thing happens, right? So they're trying to get like a 52-week schedule in with everything. Now, with the Skeleton Crew,
I don't even think it has to be a big hit, by the way. I don't think it has to be a huge hit. I think they just need to keep putting content out.
Content is key. Now, and this was a report out of what's happening out of the Skeleton Crew. Now, this has nothing to do with the show as a whole, as far as like, is it going to be bad or worse, or is it destroyed? But there was reports that came out today that the crew on the Skeleton Crew, the production crew, they came out with just complaining about the conditions, the harassment that they're going through, the pacing. I mean, they're putting them through whatever and being unappreciative. They're firing people on the spot, hire, rehire. And this is where I'm getting at about the pacing of Disney committing to like a subscription series and putting out shows because they have to now, because they're not getting any other money but subscription numbers, right? Until they go with ad-based subscriptions pretty soon. But these aren't theatrical releases where they can accumulate $500 million, $1 billion at the box office to recoup and carry on and spend a couple of years doing something else. This has to be a rotating schedule. We talked about a couple months ago about ILM, or was it I think it was ILM doing another base. They have 5 locations throughout the world to keep up with all these scheduling and stuff. But again, we've talked about this so many times, quality over quantity. We're okay. We're patient, but we're not numbers. We don't sit there and worry about numbers as far as money wise.
Actors and crew feel like they've been working under grueling conditions. They are underappreciated, disposable, and disrespected. Interesting. I wonder. Yeah. And part of me wonders, okay, is that are they what's happening? Because I mean, are they being treated that way according to today's sensibilities, or are they just not? Oh, are they not?
We've seen the hell Lucas put people through. Right? But another part of this is you've got a bunch of different crews, so they're not the same crew getting to know each other and they're putting shit through, right? When you're dealing with the original 6, you had a majority of the same people working on a lot of that stuff, so they were able to work through it together and be on the same team all the time. And when there was, tribulations and issues and things, they could probably work through it pretty well because they were a team for a long time. Yeah. These guys are going show to show, different people mixed up. They're not a team like the old.
And that's why I'm hoping that it doesn't reflect on the final product. But
that's what happens when you do a conveyor belt set of shows, right? Where
and that's where I'm getting at, right? Like that are they backing themselves in the corner by doing this? Now, Filoni and Favreau are on board with Skeleton Crew, so I kind of have faith that it's going to be righted. Yeah, well, they know about they're involved. I don't think they're credited of writing it and stuff, but they are, because it is in the Mando time frame. It is in that setting. It does anything they do can and or affect
all these
whatever
people
else.
talk. Yeah, all these people talk.
Yeah,
and they'll probably be credited as some kind of producer, assistant producer.
Yeah, we've sat here before and we said things like, hey, quality over quantity, spread it out. I don't care if it's 5 years in between movies, do this. But now we have this new era, this new TV shows that have to be on production. These are the same guys that probably bounce from Marvel to Star Wars to Willow to all these other things, going on and trying to keep that Disney Plus model growing and sustainable, because there is a set number amount of money they get per month, right? And if they don't get it, I mean, who's really suffering here? You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
it's this era that we live in of instant gratification at all times. You have to have something new and something fresh to look at. It's the TikTok and the shorts era, where everybody needs to be overstimulated at all times. So you've got to keep that. You've got to keep Star Wars in everybody's eye holes. You got to keep. And this is why I appreciated Andor so much, because it wasn't that like $1 billion movies budget, and it was like a nice sit down and kind of like, it was cool. There was room for it, and it worked that way. Where the money went on this. It went on the actual sitting down and thinking about a good story and some cool effects, but not all the money goes into it. Like for example, Mandalorian, we said every episode had a $10 million budget, right? For the first season and all that stuff. Skeleton Crew has a $139 million budget for its entire season. And they said it was more than any other show so far, which again brings me like, okay, that my level, it's like, okay, I know there's money. I know John and Dave are involved. It's so like the notches go up, right? They did say on that article, Scott, too, with the sentiment about this crew being, treated that way. They said it's not affecting the final outcome, but I don't know how it can't. You know what I mean? I really it's tough.
You can fight through disgruntled stuff and still make a good product. It's just you're not going to have people work for you again. That's the
they're firing people, and they're like Disney is in that. I think they're pressure so much that they're like, you don't agree, you're out of here. You don't agree, you're out of here. Bring someone else. I don't care what it is, just bring it in. And because they have a deadline, they have to produce the stuff, because if Disney Plus stays idle, they lose subs, they lose money, and they can't pay for The Mandalorian. They can't pay for these other big epic shows and their future. So
and a direct quote here, and the thing is, the people are saying we'll never work for another Star Wars again. Okay.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Somebody will. But they are getting to the point, right, where people don't want to work on Star Wars. The directors are going to be tougher, actors are going to be tougher, but I mean,
yeah, but the same could be said for the blowback from like Attack of the Clones of the Phantom Menace. The actors that worked on that, like Hayden Christensen and Ahmed Best, and then Rose, Kelly Marie Tran, all of those people who were just verbally abused by not the people who were making it, but the people who were consuming it. Why? This is not something new where people say, I'm never going to work for another Star Wars again.
Right.
It's just
that's usually fan base, because we're doing it.
It's a different set of rules, right? Yeah. Exactly. So
Mike said, hire fans.
Hire us.
I know.
Just bring us in.
Sure.
Hey, there was some cool news about Skeleton Crew, though, right? So
yeah.
the rumor on there, to kind of take it away from the negative, is we talked last week or week before about Ahsoka being in a new space, right? Like there was this new part of the galaxy. We have the unknown regions, the outer rim, all this stuff. Well, now they're going into when they talk about the last couple of years about going into an area of unexplored, a place that Star Wars has never explored before. We didn't quite know what it meant.
Right.
And now two shows kind of in the same time frame are going to be out in new space.
In this
Ahsoka,
new space. Yeah.
At least Ezra and Thrawn will be, their journey will be in new space, right? Is the rumor. And now we hear that some of the Skeleton Crew is going to be taking place in that same area. So kind of wild that they're going to mix up. Not sure if it's going to cross, but if they're doing things right, there should be an episode somewhere where there's no reason to have two shows at the same time in an area we've never seen before not touch.
Mm-hmm. Well,
right? So that's
far
really
they've been
weird.
doing that. I mean,
it's really weird, right? Like if we went to Exegol and the good and the heroes and the villains didn't get to Exegol, that would have been weird.
Yeah.
Right? Or if they didn't touch or whatever.
Right.
Here, it seems like it should. They're not going to all of a sudden, after bajillions of years, get to a new place and these two people not touch each other.
Right.
Yeah. Jude Law is going to be Thrawn, is what you're saying.
Jesus Christ, no. Well, okay, now let me look at him. No.
He wipes off his makeup and it's blue underneath. He's like,
right. And then the other rumor was who they're going to be seeing in the Skeleton Crew, and apparently some people on set have seen there was going to be a deal with pirates, and specifically a Weequay band of pirates. Yeah. So that puts all of our antennas up for Hondo.
Yes.
Finally making a live action. So it just makes sense.
Yeah.
He's in Batu.
Yeah.
He needs to show up eventually in a live action.
Eventually,
he hasn't even been in the other seasons. He could have made it in a season 7 of Clone Wars and didn't, type of thing. But you just to bring him up to new time,
We've been saying this about Ahsoka for since her inception that it came into canon about live action Ahsoka, and we got her. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It'll all happen eventually, right? The only one we don't ever hear about is Shizor, and he's making lots of comic appearances now, or at least mentions.
That's how it starts.
Now
Chris right. That's how it starts. Let's get him in there. Let's go. Yeah, come on. That's awesome. And that gets me excited for it. And that gets me like, hire more crew, more stuff, more production. But
and then fire him after. There's plenty of people.
Yeah.
People are resources. Have we not read the Thrawn books?
Yeah. Keep
the good ones and toss the rest. People are resources.
It is a catch-22. At the same time, we want quality, but at the same time, we understand. We don't care about it's just yeah.
Get out of here with Cumberbatch.
We had this.
There's your answer,
Chris
Mike.
had this whole
Mando Mike says, I think Cumberbatch would make a good Thrawn, and
Chris says no.
Yeah. I'm done with him after Strange. I'm good. That's all I would see now, and I couldn't see him as Thrawn anymore. There was a point where I did, and then there was oh my god, what's his name? Fassbender. I was all on Fassbender for a minute too. That was a pretty good one, but there's no way. Matt Smith or who we got Mickelson.
Yeah, which I think that's
what's going on.
Yeah.
We also got some images from the Acolyte. The
Acolyte is in full swing, and I know these guys. Everybody's here has seen these images. So go ahead, Scott. Put them up. Acolyte is in production. We've got Harry and Anderson's The Bigfoot. We've got Skunk Girl. We've got Hidden Mystery Jedi.
That looks like the dude. What's his name? He's from Hangover. Is that
who's that? I'm sorry. Say that again.
Hangover. What's his name? The
doctor.
Oh yeah,
that's who it looks like from there.
Jesus, Skunk Girl.
Jump out of his speeder naked, hitting people.
Yeah.
You had me with Skunk Girl. Then we've got Justin Timberlake.
Don't look at me. Screech. So I mean, we got
Screech. I ain't got no time for that, and
I ain't got no time for that. Oh man, yeah.
The other thing about I'm jumping to wrong show here, but I think which one was going to do the origin of the Night Sisters? Was that Skeleton Crew or Acolyte? One of them's going through origins of the Night Sisters.
It would make sense for the Acolyte.
It would, but that's only. Well, really, would it? I mean, 100 years is 100 years in the scheme of talking about the origin. I get it. You're right, because the
origin
dark
of the
stuff.
Clan. Yeah, it could be that clan of the Night Sisters.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw. Damn. Oh well, it doesn't matter. Either way, we're getting Night Sisters coming up in live action this year.
Let's go.
Next year.
Let's go. Like, the Acolyte makes the most sense, and because of the time frame to it, right? So
yeah, I hit Mike's last comment right there. That B movie thing.
That's what I was going for.
They all look like B movie cast,
they really
dude.
Do. You put the right lighting and the right set on them, they're gonna look great.
There's one major, not argument, but discussion from day one of Star Wars and George Lucas had this sentiment was cast not unknowns to make Star Wars, and we are all about. You have anchors that you have anchors like Alec Guinness, right, in Star Wars, and Peter Cushing, all that stuff. But then you have no names which work out so much better. My opinion, our opinion, George Lucas's opinion. So I don't want to recognize cast like you said with the guy from Hangover. Now that's all I see. It's probably not him, but now it's like
not him. I've seen him in a better picture. Even it's not him.
Okay,
it
cool.
Looks just like him.
Yeah, and that's why I always said back in the day, like I hope Tom Cruise never does a Star Wars movie. You know what I mean? Because that's all I'm gonna see is Tom Cruise. That's all I'm gonna see in these things, and that's why
he got his trench run in Maverick. He doesn't need to be in Star Wars.
So B movie cast. I'm all
got
about.
Lucky. I don't know how that worked because when I see Samuel Jackson, I still see Mace Windu. I don't see Jules. I don't see Fury. Same. I still see Mace Windu, which is really odd.
It worked, right? For some reason, it worked. Yeah. Just keep it no names. I'd rather keep it no names because then that puts us as what we do in our theory crafting in our heads and everything as like there's a face, there's a name, not like Harrison Ford. We know it's Han Solo. It's been there from ground one because he was a nobody in Star Wars, so he grew to be an awesome actor, like a great actor.
Yeah, we had Alec Guinness, we had Liam Neeson, we had who did we have in the sequels?
The originals. The original actors became the anchors.
That's true. Yeah, they did. You're right. And then,
the original no names became the stars.
Yeah.
Right. So no, it's cool. Like I'm okay with that. I'm okay with not knowing, not recognizing, because again, it puts us in a different headspace. It really does. Yeah. So, but yeah. So,
cool Acolyte pictures. I'm down with that. I'm down with the Wookiee Jedi. Dude.
Oh, sorry, you guys.
I liked it.
The Harry the Hendersons. Oh,
the Harry Henderson, Bigfoot,
and Skunk Girl.
I appreciate. Okay, this is what I appreciated out of those photos. Aliens, diverse aliens, Star Wars aliens. That's what that looked like. I'm cool with that, and I will say High Republic does a good job at that. I know that's the Acolyte, but it's supposed to be the tail end of the High Republic. But High Republic, if I give them any credit, they're very good at mixing in the Star Wars worlds, not just all humans, not just all whatever. It's you got everything. And that's production set look like they're including everything. So cool. Again, I was down here with Acolyte. I can only go up with it, right? So I'm like trying to really have an open mind going into
I like the concept, or at least the snippets we've heard. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
All right.
Are we ready to do some bitching?
Yeah. So
I'm ready to go.
So yeah, I mean, we're not trying to make this a negative show, but last year even last week when we did our best of, we still complained about some of the stuff and we still argue with each other about some of our picks. So this gives us a chance to kind of look at the opposite of it. So
I'm going to piss you off the
I know you are. I'm ready, man. So I'll go first. I'll start it this way. We did it last way back, so I'll go ahead and kick it off. I think I'll get mine, Scott, and then but yeah, guys, so we're doing our worst stuff in the chat. Go ahead and start getting your worst moments of Star Wars, the things that we're like, oh, that should have never been a thing. I wish that was taken out. It's actually like kind of like ruined some of the either show, but not just shows. It could be anything from your experiences. Last week, like you said, we said celebration, toys, everything.
Cliff saying, well, today you can say it's bad, but not Willow bad. I completely forgot that another episode of Willow was out today.
I'm done.
I only watched the first 2 episodes.
My number one thing was Willow. No, I'm kidding. It wasn't. But it is the worst thing in the history of all the dates so far. But no, my first one is the Vespa Gang.
Yes.
Quick, let's slowly chase him and look stupid doing it.
Yes.
So that's my commentary on this. The characters do not fit the Star Wars theme. They don't fit the Star Wars world. Even my rewatch of Book of Fett, I was really just like cringing, thinking like, okay, I can get through this. And every time they even came in or they were on they came into the frame, even Boba Fett's confrontation with them and to accept, and then their noble cause, like, you're stealing water from us, and he's like, okay, stop stealing water, but come work for me, and now you're going to give him water for free. And it's like, oh my god. And that what kind of like brought me to
it just didn't fit the aesthetic there. Look, go back to that picture real quick, and this is on mine as well, just so you know.
Okay.
And these 3. So she looks all like she's supposed to be all punk rock, right?
Right.
And then you got 2 Panic at the Disco guys surrounding her. Their aesthetic doesn't even match each other, yet their bikes do, and that's dumb. And then it's, again, I hate that we get on this and get on this, but it's tattoo freaking ween, dude. There's not a speck of dust on any of this stuff. It should all be messy, dirty, gnarly, not trench coats and sweater vests. I mean, her look is actually kind of fine for it, although punk rock is weird in Star Wars. Like, she's literally wearing a vest.
There's no used universe look in this at all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just,
I agree.
It's just dumb.
She needs some
there's no
safety
saving
pins.
this.
She needs some safety pins and a couple of anarchy buttons and stuff like that.
Yeah, man. Dude,
like Cliff said,
on the back, dude. Seriously, dude, you have a Misfits patch on the back. I'm sure of it.
Yeah. Like Cliff said, take Boba out of that shot, and no one would guess this was Star Wars. I agree.
Yeah.
I would
No
agree.
way, dude. And you're sure these things have wheels, or they're at a carnival that's about to go round and round on a merry-go-round thing. That's what that looks like to me.
Yeah,
The motorcycles you
and
get
to
on when you're a
top it
kid,
off,
they're all shiny.
Right. It was worse that they were in the show. But that chase scene too was the moment of like, okay, it solidified. Like, what are we doing here? You guys are known for fast chases and speeder bike chases. You guys invented it. I mean, Endor worked so good. What the hell are we doing?
And here you've got super slick looking vehicles. It's not even okay. So yeah, the speeder bikes were cool because they're very aerodynamic looking, but you've got these things that look like, 50s roadsters and turned into Vespas, and they just don't move.
Yeah, I know it was an homage.
You put a quarter into, right?
Yeah, that's what Chris was saying.
That's
what Chris was saying.
And this is the part. Oh, go ahead, Chris.
The concept was okay. The mods. I like the concept of people being modded. I like even what they did. They had the little Inspector Gadget fight with the Major Domo they were chasing, right? They were pulling things out of their arms, their legs, all this bullshit. Not a bad concept for Star Wars. I'm okay with it. It's
execution was really
aesthetic. Yeah,
really bad. And and so I mean, I'm sure you guys have this on your list too. So I'll move on to my next one.
To Cliff's point there, to be fair, TOJ began the era of slow chase. To a point. That was just a slow, drawn-out series of events. This was physically, literally watching it slow. And I'm like, I can get out and run and chase this guy and just pull him out of the speeder. Why is anybody in anything mechanical?
Yeah. I'm sure
Jesus.
somebody got some go-go gadget legs they could have used to run really fast and,
pull him out the car.
Yeah.
It was just slow. Out of the Book of Fett, that was probably the most like, what are we doing? And then sure. I'm going to stay in that theme too. With my second choice is Clueless Fett. We talked about this last week too. Book of Fett, the watching again. It's an entertaining show, but Boba Fett is the one that seems out of place in this entire series. About just being like he walks into this bar not knowing what to do, not does he even know he owns it? She had to tell him, here's the money, here's the stuff that we're doing here. You're the Lord now and stuff, and he's just like, okay, yeah, I guess let's do this. And Fennec, it felt weird. It felt out of place. Like he went to go do these collections. Important people see me. I'm this awesome gangster. Supporting people. I'm not going to be carried. He walks in and they're like, do you want your helmets? And he's like, whoa, what do I do? You know what I mean? And that really bugs me. It really bugged me that they put like I said, a clueless, not nice guy. Yeah. The nice guy thing I can get around. It's the clueless. How Fennec had to, hey, walk here. You should put your helmet on. You should be carried. You should do all these things. He doesn't know these things. He's been around this his whole life. And
I just rewatched that particular episode too, and he goes and he meets with the mayor, and the mayor tells him, if you really want to know what's going on, go talk to her. So he's like, okay. So he goes and he talks to her, and I'm like, why?
He should have went in there.
I'm like, why?
Yeah, he should have went in there, and he should have stopped her from talking. Give me my money or whatever. I'm the new boss. Things are going to change. It's not the more, whatever. And did something. I mean, it was like they came in, they gave him money, and they just pushed him out the door. It's like, look at this guy. He's a pushover.
Dude, 88 could have given him the rundown of everything and where he needed to go. He had the perfect person there already. Yeah. Right? Give him the rundown what he needed to do. Go shake down who you need to shake down. Have them come to you. There were so many things. Yeah, like to your point, he's been around these people his entire life, around the underground, against the gangsters. He's watched people try and do stupid shit, and here he is, just blindly without a plan.
You don't think he's been in that bar in that thing because Chris Santon was sitting there, being a patron. Boba Fett's been there. He knows the ins. He's
been right next to Jabba when he's gone through shit, and done shit, and shaking. Yeah. He's shaking people down for Jabba. There's no way.
And the way he got
about Boba Fett.
That's what I'm saying. And the way he got his, we got tons of money. It's like, that's so dumb. Anyway, moving on because of time restraints. Don is not worse. Boba is without his helmet. Yeah, like we said, every time he took off his helmet, I was like, here we go. Clueless.
Put your helmet on. Stop talking. Point your gun, and people are gonna listen.
Yeah, the name, the reason why he was telling everybody his names, because that name's supposed to permit fear in that name, and nobody cared. They're like, who?
He kept taking his helmet off, and he's a clone. Yeah, we've seen his face a million times. Yeah,
Right.
Exactly. So okay, going on to my number 3 is switching switching shows to the I think it's the worst reused plot is what I'm really complaining about here. Riva killing the Grand Inquisitor and just, hey, I'm back. You killed me. Hate brought me back. Off camera, we don't care about this. It's like laziest writing in the history of writing when any show does this. And just have Star Wars do it is an insult to us, to Disney, or not to Lucas, to the franchise, to Star Wars itself. You know, I killed you, but hey, my 18 stomachs, because and nobody knows this. And then it just somehow off camera, I was back, and I'm going to leave you for dead to come back and kill me again. Come on. Like,
all that being
it gets
said,
old.
The Inquisitor was well done. I mean, the voice and his mannerisms and all that, he was very well done. But you're spot on.
It's that plot point, which is I'm making it like they just was like, let's just write something in, because if you look at Kenobi as a whole, all the Inquisitors did nothing. They did nothing in the series, absolutely nothing. The Grand Inquisitor did absolutely nothing but come in, yell at some people, get killed, come back, and then leave Riva for dead again to come back.
It was done for shock value too, because we here knew that there was no way he was dead because of Rebels, which happened.
Hold on. It caused a whole bunch of stupid conversations, is what it did. Because we were even arguing in this show for some reason that he would be alive.
We were.
And I'm like, why are we arguing about this? He's in fucking Rebels. They're not going to change canon. And that was a discussion on the internet. They cause stupid discussions on purpose. I swear. Like, why would you even consider that a plot point? Why play that card?
That's what I'm saying.
When you have an Inquisitor, we don't even know.
Right.
You could have killed her, because we never see her again. Kill her, and you killed an Inquisitor, and they're after you at this point.
Right.
You know?
See, Cliff?
It didn't have to be the Grand Inquisitor.
No. Yeah, exactly. See, Cliff feels bad for Qui-Gon. All he had to do was go off camera and poof, everything works out better. Yeah. This is where I will give George Lucas the credit for everything, because he really thinks about every decision, every shot, and every character moving forward. When he, in his mind, when he killed somebody, being a Force Ghost, I mean, he's dead. Darth Maul, boom, chopped out, dead, gone. Emperor, dead. He's no intention for him to come back, like the sequel stuff. He had no intention for that. He didn't never signed off on all the Thrawn trilogy books and all that stuff. He was like, yeah, that's fine, we'll do whatever, but my movies stand alone. It's just a weak, lazy writing on that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that one was bad.
To I'm back. Yeah, dumb.
And they do that one a little too often. Well, the way I see it is villains can come back, good guys have to die. That's the way it should be, right? And that's why I kind of liked Palpatine's note about the dark side as a pathway to abilities, blah blah blah. That makes sense. And for the evil to always be resurrected, whether it be Grievous coming back and being an android, Palpatine coming back, Vader being
see, that's different. Like Grievous was a perfect example. Resurrected
in all different ways. Grievous and Palps, Grievous and Vader are the same. But
Grievous is okay, I know it's not canon, but that Visions comic book where he was that general and they preserved him, it just took his organs and made the bodysuit out of him. That's bringing a villain back tenfold. Vader, Anakin, Vader, that's bringing him back. Not like I'm the same dude that,
Again, says a billion other ways they could have almost killed him. Why run him through with the lightsaber? Even when Riva got stabbed.
Yeah, she survived.
He's right though. They could have cut an arm off or something, just disabled him somehow. We don't know what he's got underneath his armor. He could have had a robot hand like Anakin. They could have done a lot.
He does have 2 stomachs. That's been clarified. I mean, after we said it on this show.
Yeah.
Remember, Mikey had to look it up for us while we were on the show.
Yeah.
And then a couple weeks later, the actor said that same thing.
Yeah.
He said, "Well, I do have 2 stomachs."
He did, but again, it's like a cop out, right? It's like it's just a poor cop out.
It was I think it was a plan ahead.
Yeah.
We're not giving them credit. This is a species that can take a shot in the stomach because they have 2, and they went for it. I'll give them that. Because if it did it with anybody else, then they made up the 2 stomach thing. That's dumb. This one happened. They planned it. I just hate the fact that they used the Grand Inquisitor because we knew he was going to be alive.
What you don't know, what Cliff is pointing out right here, is that Riva actually has 37 stomachs. And
she's got
just
twice.
skewered the first 2. So
that's fair.
Yeah.
Did we see her take the gut stab as a youngling? I know it went at her. Did we see it happen?
No, it was
implied.
a reaction. It was a reaction
Implied,
shot.
yeah.
And remember, I was thinking like
and
it was more like a reaction from her flashback. I didn't know if she actually did get stabbed as a kid. It was she definitely got stabbed, later, but it was the flashback was like it was a weird sequencing. Yeah. But
they just
so
her in the already existing scar tissue. It was a perfect shot. So she
right through the same exact trajectory.
Yeah, that's fair. The Reva part, I forgot that she got played that same game. I forgot.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. The revolving
so
door
my number 4
sucks.
Yeah, number 4 is Reva herself, not Moses, but Reva, hell bent on getting revenge on Anakin and Vader. So her 10-year plan was to join the Inquisitors, hunt down the Jedi, earn favor, deliver Kenobi, use Anakin's child to lure Kenobi, waste Imperial taxpayers' money, and then she'll spring her trap when she's alone with Vader. To me, it was going way around the bend for her motivation. So I'm basically taking her character's motivation as something that I just did not buy in the Kenobi series, that it just kind of hurt the series overall. The series antagonist.
I think now that you said that, I didn't have this on my list, but to do with Reva and just with that part, the fact that she knew.
Yeah, Anakin, she knew everything.
That should have been on my list. That should have been on my list.
Yeah. And so I was like, it just bugs me that her motivation was kind of like you devise a plot that hurt more people than your own. It was just weird to me. It was just weird. And her redemption at the end, she doesn't deserve it. I'm positive she killed Jedi, so to get to Anakin, which she was right next to him the whole time. Yeah. So anyway, I digress on that, but yeah. So my last complaint about this worst thing in 2022, it has to go back to what we all do, and the collecting is the Hasbro's decision on the full cardboard figures. This to me, again, like way to kill a market. I mean, they were like, how do we get out of this? Make everything, forget the mitten box collectors. Let's just throw them to the curb. And that's exactly what they do. Did and they're doing. So that's like, again, my little, complaint. And Willow, of course. Willow being the worst thing. Well, anyway, yeah. But anyway, those are my worst. And I mean, for the most part, I enjoy 2022 tremendously with Star Wars. These are certain plot things, they just did not fit. And I want to say I'm no writer, I'm no expert, but I'm a consumer. I have an opinion on what I enjoy and stuff, and what feels Star Wars and what doesn't feel Star Wars. And it seems like there's too many things that are being produced that do not feel Star Wars, that either should never be written in the first place or done better. I always said that Star Wars is not something to experiment with. There is a pattern, there is a formula. You can get gutsy. But the stuff that I pointed out is stuff that every other bad movies are doing out there. And I don't think Star Wars deserves to be in that category of other things. You know what I mean? You can get away with Marvel, but you can't get away with Star Wars. You cannot blur the two. I'm sorry. You don't use time travel in Star Wars. You can use it in Marvel, but you can't use it in Star Wars. But anyway, so there's my list, guys. I'm going to go this way over here to Scott, and we'll go around. So go ahead, Scott.
Okay. All right. Well, my number 5 is a very specific moment from Obi-Wan Kenobi, and that is, of course, the miniaturized speeders, snow speeders that just kind of sit there and shoot.
Awkward.
This whole scene from the whole episode was really good until they got to that damn platform, and then it just kind of all fell apart, from the graphics to the
graphics were bad.
Yeah, to the sneaking out with Leia in Obi-Wan's jacket.
Cliff's favorite scene, the Leia sneaking.
It's ridiculous. And it was just this was the cherry on top right here. The piece de resistance. Is that what you say? How you say it? It's the
piece of resistance. If you want
sure, that'll work.
I don't speak French.
I don't speak French either. But I mean, this right here, though, really just freaking killed it. There was something wrong with this scene, man. It just didn't work.
I agree. We all agree. We all saw it and we all went like, what the hell? Where's the money? Where's the money going?
And Reva's sitting there just kind of flipping her lightsaber around her. It's shooting her from the front and she's flipping her lightsaber behind her. Why? What are you doing? it's in front of your ass. So I don't know.
Right.
Just, the whole scene just didn't work. All right. My number 4 is, as you guys so eloquently put it, Vespa speeder bike.
Yeah.
Gang.
This might take the top spot. Who knows? We'll see.
We've
already going to be.
We've already gone over this. There's nothing that I could add to it that to put any extra oomph into this.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say like what Chris kind of said. You know, I wasn't at first. I didn't know how I felt about the existence of mods and this being like a rebellious teenage thing in Star Wars, and you know, we never thought we would explore something like that, right? Like teenage angst and stuff. We got Luke as this whatever, but this was some different. Yeah, this was like okay. I would give credit for being gutsy in that kind of stuff, right? Like that kind of addition,
biker gang.
Yeah, kind of like putting that in Star Wars. So it's I think the horrible look. I think the execution. I think the whatever they did on the animation was just wrong. Like rushed or whatever. They just not well thought out. Maybe on paper it was great, but yeah, it was just bad. So
the execution again was awful. So I won't go any further with that. My number 3 is the fact that this show right here is over.
Thank you.
That is a negative in my opinion. I think that Andor, to me, and I know also to Marco, maybe not the other two gentlemen on the show, but for me, Andor was excellent. Yeah, it was pretty much everything I wanted it to be. Yeah. And just the fact that we have to wait for another God only knows how long until we see season 2. That is why Andor is in my bottom list here. Yeah. All right, number 2.
I just sat back down. So Andor was one of your negatives. That's bold.
The fact that it ended.
That's bold.
The fact that
I get it. It's the funeral scene. I get it. I'll talk about it in a minute. I get it.
Okay. Don't start with me. Don't start. Don't start.
All right. Number 2.
Agreed with Scott.
Number 2. The Galactic Star Cruiser.
Very good. Right. Very good. Yeah.
The Galactic Star Cruiser is ridiculous. Okay. Just the
forgot about this.
So is everybody else. The concept is great. Okay. The concept really is great. My issue with this is that they have priced everybody out. They priced all the normal human beings that could afford to take families on vacations completely 100%. Out of this. You cannot go to this without spending, I think it's, what is it, $3,000 a person or $2,500 a person for a 3-night thing?
You got to be Oprah rich to go there.
Rich, right?
You got to be Oprah rich. You've got to be Oprah rich, but even Oprah can't afford to bring Stedman. Okay, she's just got to keep her girlfriend with her. She can't bring Stedman too.
Yeah. And the fact that you pay all this money for like Disney built like this immersion role playing experience, knowing that when you go do this, you're going to be the only one role playing. You're going to be the only one that's
look at the assholes in the top left corner of that screen that are there in
that's
their
what I'm
shorts
saying.
and their sneakers.
That's
the
not
fact
cool.
that you are there and you're not taking part in a fully immersive experience just if you're gonna walk around the thing, just go put a freaking robe on or something, man. You don't.
Yeah.
That I also honestly, agree with Mike. They should give at that price. They should be handing them out at the door.
They should
100%, dude.
They should.
And I also agree with Mike. None of this, the art direction on this was absolutely horrible.
Yeah, like, that bottom left picture. That bottom left picture is the bar from Next Generation.
It does look like Quark's bar. Yeah, it does.
This is bad.
It's just, I don't know.
It's all bad.
To me, the look, especially like of the cabin in the upper right, the cabin doesn't look too bad. There's something I wanted to try and bring up here that we could share, but I don't know if it will allow us to share it. And that is the Galactic Star Cruiser, the duel on the Galactic Star Cruiser during the big finale is freaking ridiculous, man. And I don't know if it will allow me to share the screen here, but I'm going to give it a shot. Let's see. Hopefully we don't get booted.
Just let it run for just really very, very short.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, none of this screams like I've got to go and I've got to do this.
Yeah, no, they missed the mark on this. Budget wise, everything else wise, it just and aesthetics. It brought.
Yeah.
Does this have sound or no?
I'm not putting sound on, but
that's smart. We won't get flagged then.
Yeah, this right here.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Lightsaber. That's supposed to be Rey, and then whoosh! I drop it and I pick up a real lightsaber. Come on!
I want to punch that piece so hard. Like I want to hit the screen. I'm so angry with that. Like you could have ignited that lightsaber and walked past a pillar,
a column,
right?
And just dropped it and grabbed another one as you're going.
Yeah.
Put it down poorly,
or be a better,
or do some kind of spin. Put your hand down and come up with a different one.
Spin,
any move,
not like.
Let me squat down and grab this already ignited lightsaber. The ignited lightsaber is their prototype, right? That's like the real lightsaber.
That's what I'm saying. Like, or make it durable so you can use it. You know what I mean? Like,
run behind, like he said, run behind a column, swap it out real quick. You could do that super fast but woof.
God,
yeah, I mean, fool you.
Yeah, it's bad.
Is that what they say? I guess the word around the campfire is that when that happens, that there's like stuff falling from the ceiling on the right. So everybody's attention is supposed to be turned, like a magician, right? We're trying to do sleight of hand, which is still
gotcha,
weird.
Right?
But they're just us would be like crash, swap.
Yeah.
So my number one, though, and this goes along with
maybe
something
Bob Iger will fix it. Yeah, maybe Bob Iger will fix Galactic Snooze.
Yeah. Well, they're saying that it's like at 25% capacity because they can't fill it. There's not enough people that can afford to go.
Yeah,
and
they skipped coupon day. Yeah,
no kidding. My number one, though, is it's kind of bittersweet. I don't want to. It was a bad moment for me personally, and that is the action figures. Everything that came out this year. And also the decision, like you said, to drop the do the all cardboard and get rid of the plastic so you can't see the figure. It made me decide that it was time to stop with the Black Series. And I am now fully only in with the vintage collection and the occasional Black Series figure if I want something to add to my display up here. But it's bittersweet because I really like the figures that they're producing.
The figures are amazing, by the way. Like, Black Series are stepped up their game tenfold on the Black Series himself. But the notion of going to cardless or repaints and just have the fewer of, and I guess everybody they're using the excuse of still getting out of COVID and distribution, but at the same time, there's no reason we should have 3 Landos warming pegs right now. And everything else is just starting to trickle in. And whenever it's trickling in, it's all of this trickle.
Like you said, repaint.
It's like a flood.
I know, it's a flood right now.
Yeah.
And, I go to GameStop today and it's loaded up with these Gaming Greats figures, but you can't see the figure inside the package. And that used to be my thing. I'd hang it on the wall. I would hang the figure on the wall so you could see it.
Yeah.
I don't hang a figure so I can look at toy photography. I hang a figure so I can look at the figure.
There has been instances, and there's been instances that the rendering in the front does not match the figure as far as little here's they show a double jointed and it's not double jointed. You know what I mean? They have, and that's kind of like, guys, Hasbro needs a revamp.
Yeah.
So and the story on that one, but
so that's my number one. I do have a couple of honorable mentions. I'm going to say and I'll go through them really fast as negatives. My first honorable or dishonorable mention is the High Republic. The High Republic started off pretty strong for a book series and a comic series, but man, whenever they decided to do the prequel route and go, I don't care. I just don't care about this anymore. So I haven't even attempted to read any of the current High Republic stuff.
Same. I dropped it.
I want to get back to the original story. Okay. Starlight Beacon fell. I want to know they killed off Stellan Geos. Who was the Obi-Wan Kenobi? I want to know what happens next. I want to see them. You can tell some of them want revenge for what happened, even though, Jedi aren't supposed to seek revenge. I want to know what happens next. I don't want to know what happened 150 years before this.
Yeah.
That still somehow magically ties into it all. I don't care.
Right.
I just don't give a damn.
Yeah, it's so convoluted, dude. There's so much going on. Too many things.
And they're not going to use Yoda like they've got that. They've got Yoda there, and they're not using them. And then the second dishonorable mention is this, my figure. I had to repaint, as you see over there on the left-hand side, which
this is Scott. Okay,
it looks like your buddy Jesse, dude. More than it looks like you.
Yeah, it does.
Jesse's thinner than I am, though, man. I don't know who this chubby cheek fool is here, but
I'm just looking at the face.
The original, though, I chose brown hair because I've got brown hair, and it came out looking like I've got frosted tips.
You also look like you've been in the sun for every summer. I know you don't, because you're an indoor kid like me.
I am an indoor kid. I don't know, man.
You're not that tan, Scott.
Yeah, I'm not. And then, of course, Willow.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Willow makes its
Willow. All right. So who's up next?
All right, Chris, go for it, man. Good
All
list,
right.
by the way. Yeah.
Number 5. Let's get Marco in a twist early.
All right. Hang on a second. Let me look for your number 5. Oh boy.
He'll fight me here. And you'll all fight me. It's okay. I don't mind.
Yeah. You're wrong, but yeah.
I can be
it
wrong
is listed as 5, right?
Yeah, the very first one is 5.
Oh, the very first one is 5. Oh, okay. We're doing that. All right.
Yeah. So 5, a 9-minute funeral march. But it worked because it's a long, drawn-out show, so let's not have a long, drawn-out ending. Even
there you go.
Kind of like Boba Fett when Cad Bane asks, "What's your angle?" They even play on it in the scene. What are we doing? We're wasting time.
Yeah.
They know they're wasting 9 minutes, guys. 9 minutes from this time they start hitting that drum until she was finished with the speech, until she started the speech. It was 9 minutes.
Yeah.
It's just too damn long, man. I'm telling you. The series is solid. The series is strong. The series had way too many extra moments and extra time. This could have been 9 or 10 episodes and been a much faster paced, better paced thing. I think they went back and forth to a lot of just, I don't know. It played more soap opera than action flick, which is fine because I know it was a spy thriller, but it wasn't a thriller. Mm-hmm. I like Andor. Very solid. Nothing looking wrong, nothing acting wrong, directing wrong, nothing. The vibe for me was off, and this funeral fit. And the fact that she didn't say "fuck the Empire" at the end is going to be a sore spot on my side forever.
I mean, we probably should do a hot topic on that, like that on the wording and stuff, because I mean, I think we both have valid points on it, but
because we very much disagree on the F, but
we do.
I have to F it now since I used it, but you know what I mean.
Reduce
it.
Now we're back to. I got my one.
There's certain things like going back to the pod race. I enjoy the pod race just because it is a deviation from things, right? And it just kind of made. And this is almost like an opposite of pod race, like it slowed down the pace, but it didn't slow it. It built that tension. That 9 minute was tension building because it wasn't just it wasn't just 9 minutes of them
episodes
marching.
were tension building. 11 and a half episodes tension. I'm time to release some tension.
Point.
There's time. No, you're getting teased for days, man. There's teasing and foreplay and all this shit going.
But not up to here.
And you get left with blue, and that's all you get is this nonsense at the end.
See, like it should have been you're oversimplifying because it wasn't just a 9 minute march. It wasn't just a shot on them marching.
There was stuff going on. Let's stand here, guys. Let's stand there. Let's go. Oh, are the bad guys good guys coming?
Now that's just the Imperials.
Is it oversimplifying? Yes, but it's overcomplicated in the show. Is my point? That's exactly my point. It's overcomplicated.
Why'd you put him up there?
So Joey and I can be safe down here where it's
it was I may be oversimplifying the march, but I'm telling you right but I'm telling you, dude.
Come on, Chris.
They overdid it. Are you on this side?
Yeah.
Jackass.
Wow.
That's all. Again, I know it sounds like I hate Andor, and I don't.
I get your point.
Everybody else jerks it off so much like it's the greatest fucking thing, and it's not. It's pretty damn good, but it's not flawless. And there are pacing problems and all sorts of problems with this. Problems. Speed it up, man. For a regular movie, no problem. For Star Wars, completely different pace than we should have.
regular movie, I agree it should have been sped up, but this is a series, and it was.
Yes, Cliff. Yes. It's a ruined finish. It's all sorts of shit, dude. I'm ready to bust for 12 episodes. They get me the tension, and Marco's all, more tension. Shut up. Let it go by now.
It exploded.
You built tension the whole damn 3 months.
What happens when you already, you start folding your arms, you can't unfold them when it actually happens. Like you're already like, that's it. I'm already ruined. And forget this, whatever happened at the end, the last 10 minutes.
I'm so open-minded on Andor. I wanted everything to happen. I'm like, this is just good. It's really good. It looks great. It's beautiful.
And Cliff, stop helping Chris. Just stop.
He's dead ass serious. It's
all right,
cool.
cool.
To me. I'm sorry I don't agree with everybody on that, but I just don't. I like it.
No, that's fine.
But especially through these rewatches, guys, I like the other shows better.
Oh, sure.
I enjoy them. I enjoy them more. They're not better made. They're not made as well. But they're better. They're more fun. They're more Star Wars.
I wish they were made the same. I wish the same kind of.
So this has been Chris's number 5 for the last 10 minutes.
I knew that was going to be the Sparky one, right? Because I knew I was going to light Mooch up.
All right.
Yeah. The other ones are kind of easy.
You ready for your next one?
Let's go. Let's go.
Funeral suck. Obi-Wan, just grab her. Just grab her, dude.
I love it.
It's the slowest foot chase in the history of cinema, TV, or life. Dude, she stands up there when she first sees she's 6 feet from Flea. Grab her. Then she's 6 feet from 3 different people. Grab her. Then she just runs through that gap she has right there on the right in that second picture, right? She just runs and they take literally the Phalian runs first, then the other guy on the far left goes next, and then Flea goes last. I'm like, guys, just run. This squatting run behind her while she's turned around looking. This kid has literally 13-inch legs. 4 steps, catch her. This slide move. Somehow that branch above her slide right there stopped somebody from getting over it. Over here, the Phalian in the bottom center got stuck by a branch again. Then Leia gets through this little V-shaped tree, and the Phalian couldn't get around the effing tree. Right. Stop it, dude. Worst chase scene ever. I know they wanted to give Leia a little action scene. It could have been way better. I hated this so much.
And they did it again when Kenobi was trying to chase her.
They did. They did, dude. And I'm like, come on, man. 13-inch legs. Grab her. Stupid.
Stunners. They have stun guns.
You lost me
Star Wars.
You lost me with Flea. I can't stand Flea. So
that should have been another honorable mention.
Should have been. I actually forgot that Flea was in any Star Wars. Now you brought that back up. So
well, he's piss poor at grabbing children. Let me tell you that. It's funny. I have kids. You guys play hide and seek, right? You guys play tag with the kid.
You don't know. I'm
gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. That's what they look at that top right. That's what's going on right there. I'm gonna get you. Don't let me get you.
But to be fair, the bottom middle that I didn't even notice that there was a character there.
Leia slid under or went under that thing, and this fool ran right to that branch. Foiled again. Go around the tree.
Everybody that has kids know how quick you grab them when they're running out of that supermarket. Like, got them. You know what I mean?
But I can catch up. I don't know why it took so. Okay, anyway, we can move from that. That was horrible.
All right,
the slowest foot scene ever.
Forgot about that.
Put your damn mask on, Boba. I know we just talked about it, but dude, like a bantha killed me with his mask off. And the point on the bottom right, when they give up the helmets, not only does he take his off and give it away, he gives away Fennec's. I'm like, he doesn't care about masks at all anymore. Like, just take them all. I hated it. Just put your damn mask on, Boba.
I agree.
I'm tired of it. Was too much Tem. Not enough Boba. Wasn't cool. I think we beat that to death. I don't have to.
Yeah, we did. Everybody complained about Mando always having his mask on. So now what they overcompensated on Book of Fett with them always having it off. So
see, and I never complained about that. I thought it was a good point to have his mask on. I thought it was awesome 100%. That he had his mask on. Yeah. And then when he took it off, it was a big deal.
Yeah.
Here, not so much.
It was a moment. It was a moment that needed to be savored whenever he.
I am Boba Fett.
Yeah, honestly, I think at this point he should be scarred and messed up from the Sarlacc and not want to take his helmet off.
Yeah.
That's what
they did in the comics.
So
all right.
Oops. All right, next. Okay, the best and the slowest motor chase scene ever, which we already discussed. But anybody could have walked out of their building, walked around and caught these guys. It was horrible.
And the Vespas are after us. We're good.
Our rumors, or whether it was true or not in the beginning, that was going to be Boba Fett's illegitimate kid.
Yeah, right.
Remember that?
Yes.
So I guess it could have been so much worse. So we should be thankful that it was just.
That's true.
But again, I don't know. I got nothing. Where's there a puddle in Tatooine? Like, who has water just to spill?
I mean,
the guy with the stapler. The guy with the stapler. He has water.
Did he throw it down here right there? It's like such a weird place for a puddle.
Probably.
But yeah, again,
well, he had
my
time
last
to dig
point
a trap. So
my last point on this, and I know people can wash their stuff. I do get it. But again, we live in the high desert area in California. We see a lot of dirt bikes, quads, and everything. Right? There is a automatic dirt grunge.
Yes.
Pitted up look. You're going to have,
we have
all those all that machinery. So my last point on that, we do live in the desert. We know how it should look, and that's white bugs.
I drive a shiny Mustang, and mine's usually covered in dirt and grime and everything because where we live, man, it's
happen. And if you're on a hot chase right there, you're gonna be dirty.
Yeah.
So, well, I'm sorry.
They run through puddles.
When you're going 4 miles an hour, the dust isn't up too much, I suppose. All right. Next, we've got the slowest foot chase, the slowest other chase. Oh, Book Above, my number one issue, and this is my worst scene all time. All time. I hate it. I hate that Fennec runs shit on Boba all the time, right? But I most especially, this is all within that 2 minutes of time that I told you I didn't like about his revenge on the biker gang, right? I watched that again. They didn't even turn to look. They don't even know who killed him.
Right.
I think it's horseshit revenge. Then this comes, and Boba's face doesn't move from that scene where he's at right there. While she's grunting and looking for buttons. Never been on Slave One. Fire sprays, as far as we know, there were 2 ever made.
Right? That's right. There are prototype shit.
Hey,
right.
Here's a non-labeled button. Let me hit this. Knock out your coolest fucking weapon, right? And then get the one-liner about fire in the hole. Screw you. That was Boba's kill. That's why.
And then don't touch my ship or don't touch my buttons.
Yeah,
after
get
that.
out of here, dude.
Not like
she just ran shit. She ran shit the whole time. Boba is a worthless warlord, dude. He didn't even get good revenge on the 2 people he needed, Sarlacc and the bikers.
Yeah. No, but you know what? At least somebody said and did something because Boba sure as hell wasn't. So
that's the point.
He was going to die.
That's my point. That's my exact point. They made Boba a bitch in so many ways and made Fennec stronger than him. That's my number one gripe. That scene is the worst scene in all of it, but it happened throughout. Right? I was going to go through and get a whole bunch of scenes of Fennec being his boss. Right? But there's too many, and I don't want to deal with that.
Like I said, clueless Fett.
It is same thing, and it was just funny again. Fett is going to end up being my Attack of the Clones one day, right? Because it had when you look at it and you write everything down, it had the coolest shit, the coolest ideas, and a lot of the cool
absolutely
scenes,
did,
right? But it was executed extremely poorly and has some of the worst shit. So tweak some of that stuff. Have Boba hit that button. Fantastic scene. Make those mods into like nasty ass swoop bikes. Then we got something going instead of trying to make something new. We have swoops. Use them. Make them loud.
I wish he hired the swoop gang instead of killed them. Like that would have been better.
Yeah, right. I guess they had too many swoops. Maybe that was something. Yeah. Well, no, he had to kill him because he had to get revenge for the Tuscans.
Yeah.
Well, and have him face him. Have him come face forward to him, and that changes my issue on that too. Because again, I just want them to see the fear. They should have shoot him in the back as a bitch move again. Yet but another reason they made Boba a bitch.
They wouldn't have known who he was anyway if they were killing him because they didn't kill the Tuscans. It was a setup.
Oh, that's true. That's very true.
So
but either way, his heart,
you were like, "Whoa, why is he shooting at us?"
Doesn't matter what we knew; it's what he knew.
Right. He already beat the hell out of us at Tashi Station, or why is he shooting at us now?
Yeah, what's this guy's beef?
Yeah, hey, dude, he's a bully. Boba's a bully.
But give him that. You want to go face to face with your enemy. I'm really mad that Boba would go on from behind. They didn't even know what happened. Just blast him, and then not even be able to kill the Sarlacc. Why get that close if you didn't have a plan?
We saw it coming, and then it's just like,
and yet again, a great looking scene, right, dude? Slave One tilting over to look down the Sarlacc. Oh man, that's cool as hell. Fennec saving Boba's ass from getting eaten by the Sarlacc a second time with his get out of town.
Yeah.
Dumb shit.
No,
all right, if you can't tell, I'm really worked up about that piece.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm gonna pass out after this. Like my blood pressure is so high talking about how bad Boba was right there.
Are you ready for your dishonorable mention?
Oh yeah, my dishonorable mention.
Willow.
Whatever the hell this was.
Yeah.
And again, I don't hate on it necessarily, right? Like, because you can just do whatever. It's not for me. I don't care. But you can't take an already existing IP like these little fluff ball things, right? That are already in
Is he fighting like COVID viruses or something?
No, these are little dust balls or something, some anime dust balls that already exist in the world. And then you put Grogu in it. Now it makes it something Star Wars. It was my same beef with Visions, right? Don't put a lightsaber on it and say, may the Force be with you and call it Star Wars. Don't give me something that already existed, put some ears on it, and call it Grogu. That's all that bugs me. Just make it original. Give us our original stuff. Don't mix it with genres or other IPs. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all
I'm putting my name on this one, too. My stamp on this, too, is like, whatever the F this was.
Okay. Yeah.
I haven't watched it, so I don't know.
Dude, that
And,
picture
of
looks
course,
like a COVID
And
vaccine.
I haven't watched Willow, but Jay, you know what? Hell, I'll give you one more thing of 2022 that pisses me off. Marco still hasn't watched freaking Peacemaker. That's my top.
or
my
have
bottom,
I?
My dick bottom 2022 right there, jackass. Watch the damn show. What's wrong?
I'm on Chris's worst.
You are of all, not of Star Wars, obviously, but of life.
Yeah.
God
Hey,
damn.
easy with that hand, man. That almost hit me.
sorry.
All right, cool. Well, cool list. Yeah, another one for the Vespas. So
Vespas is winning. Vespas is winning.
Yeah,
And Boba being a bitch.
Yeah, let's close this out. Joey, take us out of this, and let's get your list going.
All right. My list doesn't really involve any shows because I pretty much liked what they put out. There was some stuff I had issues with, like a lot
Joey
of our
loves
heroes,
Yeah.
which gets to my point, being bailed out by a woman heroine. Call me old school, call me old fashioned, call me a chauvinist pig, but I'm not used to seeing our main. I'm not used to seeing our main heroes being always saved by a woman. And there's nothing bad about that, but every single show.
I don't disagree.
So
I don't. That's part of my Fennec bitch.
Okay.
That's part of my Fennec gripe, dude. It has to happen. Yeah. It happens every show. I don't disagree with you. It makes sense for Mon. It makes sense for Leia. Right? It makes sense for a lot of them, but it does seem like they get tossed around. And I don't disagree.
Really hate Willow. You'll really hate Willow then.
It just is what it is. We just got to realize where we are in time. Yeah. And it's just how it is.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
So
your point, Joey.
That was
I don't
my
mind
main gripe on all the shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have
my main gripe on all the shows.
Yeah.
But my main gripe with this year would have to do with the toy industry. The main thing is with the price hikes. It's like you're raising the price on us to take away one of the main things that we collect for, and that's for display. You know, with you giving us cardboard to cover up the whole point of why we're buying your product. So
I'm not a mint box collector, and I hate it.
All year I've only bought maybe 5 Star Wars figures out of maybe 60 new figures I've bought from everything else. I've only gotten like 5 new Star Wars figures, and that's it. And I've canceled like almost every pre-order I have because now my next gripe was they're taking a year to get here.
Not anymore.
So
yeah,
it just you get to the point where you're like, all right, I guess I'm satisfied with what I got. And like Scott, I'm almost like where Scott's at, where I'm just like, okay, I tap, I'm done.
And here's the thing, that this is a sentiment that's being said here. It's been on Toy Migos. It's been on most toy shows that I've heard. And Hasbro still continues to pull forward with it. It's like, here's the plan. It's a bad plan, but we don't. It's just
people don't admit defeat. They think they're on the right side of history here by getting rid of plastic packaging, which you can go with plastic that is actually recyclable. That does exist.
But here's the thing, Scott. Mint and box collectors put it on their wall. They're not recycling this shit. It's on their wall.
I know.
What he means is the plastic can be used from recycled material. That's like same as you do the cardboard.
Yeah.
And so not only that, but whenever I get a figure, I want to see what it, like Joey says, I want to see what it looks like so I can make sure it doesn't have an eye on its forehead and one on its
100%.
cheek, And
because that happens.
It does. Perfect example. Okay. Perfect example. I bought a selfie series right there.
Yeah.
Yours looks good.
Look at those legs. I would have no idea.
Yeah.
I would have no idea that figure looks like that if this was a regular figure that I bought. I would have no idea that it's like that. If I was one of those mint box collectors, I would have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ain't you a little bow-legged?
Yeah, I
didn't scan down there.
The cod piece flaps out.
So I mean, like I said, I spent like almost $80 for this thing.
Yeah.
And again, like Scott, I felt bad for Scott because Scott's is like almost like nowhere near what he looks like. Mine's they got kind of okay.
Yeah.
You look like Pitbull. You look like Pitbull.
Damn it!
I think we could kind of generic it, right? Most of us bald guys can get a, if it's a close beard, you can get a generic one. It looks decent. Marco Spock.
Yeah,
he's never.
I tried. It was bad. Like I on the scan, I was like, I'm not even.
Too much.
I'm not paying for. Yeah, I'm not paying for this stuff. If they had sculpted, all they gotta do is fix. If they had sculpted beards like they do with the hair, I think I can get away with it. Like
you can get it a little straighter. It'd probably be a little straighter. Like wouldn't be as big, but
yeah,
it would be perfect.
Like it's sculpted. People go, oh, that's you as a character. I can't go to Scott's room and go, what is that? And who is that? And where is that? And Scott's like, it's me. I'm like,
dude, the same way they made the Wookiee hair, like on the bottom right there.
That's what I'm saying.
Put that on a human, dude.
Sculpted hair. Like if they add that option in the app, I might be inclined to do it. But there's no way in hell I'm gonna get away with the stubble like Scott's thing and
not working.
Not doing it.
Marco, just grab a troll doll and add it to the chin. Bam, done.
Problem solved.
Well done, Cliff. Well done.
Oh yeah. Well,
I'll just wait till they get sculpted hair.
I have one more that's that we were told. I remember we were told that we were gonna have hardly any space between shows.
Oh, yeah.
And it just felt like we just hardly had anything this year. To me. I don't know about you guys, but to me it felt like we hardly had anything because of the way everything was spaced so far out.
The summertime was the only downtime that we had. Like because we had Book Fett at the beginning, we had Kenobi right in May, and then we had a lull, and then.
But there are month and a half gaps in there, and to Joey's point, that there wasn't supposed to be.
Yeah,
we were supposed to
according
overlap.
to us, it wasn't supposed to be because put that
according to the 2022 plan.
Yeah,
no, but not the
Droids was
they never
supposed
came
to
out
be in December.
That.
Have you seen Droids?
Oh, Droid. Okay, yeah. See, that's
right. Everything else got pushed back a month or two, and
that's
made
the
up for some of
complaints
that
about
space,
the slate
right?
not producing this. Yes,
yeah.
Tales of the Jedi being one shot made sense because that cut 6 weeks, right? Or
but also
weeks.
that was a lot. That wasn't even in the original slate, right? So it's like, yeah, I get.
Oh no, it was because we talked about that for a long time. What was Tales of the Jedi? We thought it was going to be based on.
Yeah,
but it was talked about. It was on the plan.
Yeah, it came out during Celebration at Tales.
Oh shit, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah. It was like, what's this Tales? There's a panel. Holy crap!
A couple weeks before Celebration, I think it was Dark Horse. No, the Marvel put out a special like box set.
Yeah,
it had all the logos around it, and Tales of the Jedi was one of the logos.
Yeah. It was like literally right before Celebration. Yeah. And Skeleton, yeah, exactly. So yeah, the I forgot about the canceled shows that were supposed to be this year. So yeah,
but
I get
Other than all those, everything else is cream cheese.
To double
we
down
thought we'd
with
have
what
Mando
Joey
at the
was
end of this
saying.
year. At the end of
Yeah,
the
we
year.
did. With what Joey was saying, also, if I buy a figure and it does not have, and it's completely cardboard, I open it up, I pull that figure out. If there's something wrong with it, I'm putting it back in the box. I'm taking it back. I'm not going to play this game where I buy a whole bunch of figures just trying to get a perfect looking figure, and
I will say, I open everything. I have not come across a figure that was wonky or anything. Maybe just luck of the draw. But I've had broken figures, but that was being shipped to me, but it was in the plastic. I saw it broken. I didn't have to open it. I have not had like I said, to me, the figures have been killing it. What the sculpts, the everything has been killing it. The price sucks. I don't understand sometimes when they call it a deluxe, and I get it. And the distribution, for some reason, they just went like, give it to them all right now. Everything that you pre-ordered last year, it's coming tomorrow, and we shouldn't be complaining about that. But at the same time,
you're not expecting it,
right? Yeah, because it all hits your bank at the same time too.
And it's like the what you just said though, deluxe. So like the Book of Boba Fett Boba that came out today this year was considered a deluxe figure. Came with the exact same number of accessories, size, and everything as Bo-Katan. And the other
Cobb Vanth was a deluxe.
Cobb Vanth was a deluxe, and his is no more intricate than say the Death Watch Mandalorian. It's I don't get it.
I will say this, like and Cliff, we've had the discussion before too. You slap Star Wars on it, and they think everybody's going to buy it. G.I. Joe Classified's perfect example. Every single figure they put out should be a deluxe in Star Wars standard because they come up with 1 billion accessories, major sculpts. They're big figures. They should all have that deluxe thing. Star Wars just said, here's a jetpack. It's a deluxe $33 because it's Star Wars. They'll buy it. Which
there's something about licensing there though, because Hasbro owns G.I. Joe. Hasbro, they can do whatever the hell they want with G.I. Joe, whereas they have licensing fees that go along with Star Wars. So with the Star Wars pricing, I understand the difference between the two, but the deluxe pricing versus the regular figure pricing, what you're getting for that deluxe amount is bullshit.
There's gray area there. There's gray area, and there's not like where here's this 7-inch figure or 8-inch figure Star Wars, whatever, and it's deluxe versus same quality, same size figure, but it comes with a backpack versus not a backpack or a jetpack, and then another $10 added onto it, and that's where
come with jetpacks, and you're still paying more because one
with
says
the paint apps, yeah, exactly.
Hey, I don't have any of the Joe figs. Are they better quality than the Black Series?
I would say same because
when you hit them, like they look heftier. Like they would, if I was holding them, they would be like tougher.
Because they're all muscle bound Joes, right? Every
There's some really good hip articulation where you can do more with them. You can almost like pull their legs down and out a little bit so they sit a little easier if you've got a vehicle or something to put them in. They're far more articulated that way. And what they're doing right now with having like more realistic weapons and stuff like that,
well, G.I. Joe did a 180. They did a 180. The one thing I would say is that the Joes are based off comics and cartoons, so there's no references. That Star Wars with the face scanning, superb. Like I mean, miniaturized actors on. They've gotten to that point where I felt like the Black Series quality is gone up so much. I don't mind the price hike. I'm a collector and I get them. So.
There are many statues when you get that quality, right?
They are
because when it looks
really good,
like the Hux is not worth it. Hux looks like shit, right? But then you go to anybody like the new.
Go to Saw Gerrera. I'm sitting here going Forrest Whitaker.
Saw Gerrera is
awesome.
Yeah,
like a lazy eye and all.
His eyes even drooped and everything.
Yeah, everything. They nailed it. So I think they stepped up their game and the quality. Just that their bad marketing is the marketing. The whole thing. The Mitten Box Collectors has got to be 30 to 40% of the market, and they just destroyed it on purpose. Not just Star Wars, it's everything.
I think the market be more than that.
I would think so too.
I don't see many kids in the aisles.
I was buying at least one of every single figure to make sure I had for the wall, and then I would buy another one to open up, and they completely destroyed my one on the wall. Now I will say the occasional one to open up.
Well, I will say this, and Mando Mike made a comment too about all the figures being on the wall. When you have them just a red box with a number, that's just as bad as putting them all on cardboard because you don't see the figure and all you see is a number and red box. At least there's graphics on these cards. If you do that way, there is a graphic there, a little bit more a better presentation. Yeah. But I agree, like seeing the figure makes all the big difference, and people are getting out of the game on that, and it's sad. It's sad, But
a lot of people I imagine are like Scott, right? Would catch one of each, like one to keep and one to show, and I think that I would consider you, Scott, a Mitten Box collector if you were to ask, right? Either you are or you aren't. You have them or you don't, right? Besides that, you're out of the box, I think that would kill a lot of people. I think that would stop it, even if they were doing both. I'm surprised you're hanging on even for the open. Probably, and you're just picking and choosing though, right?
I'm very much picking and choosing. Yeah,
I would think
he's picking and choosing, but he's buying all the figures. That's the.
Well, they're all great.
You have every figure.
Every shot up, they look good.
You have every new figure.
I do.
You even bought the Imperial Officer the other day, or the Andor one. That's not. I mean, how are you picking?
That's a great figure. No,
but you're buying every figure.
I am not buying every figure.
I'm making a stand. I'm not buying shit.
Wait a minute.
Except those.
I am not buying every figure. God damn it.
I'm with you, Scott. When you buy these figures.
No, I'm looking up right now, and I have
the last one you didn't buy.
The Forlom droid that was over at.
Oh, that's old.
That was in 2019.
Exactly. That's so old.
No, that's the Forlom droid that was just released this week. That's a Walmart
repaint. No, we don't count those. I'm talking like
Mace Windu
Black Series figure.
The Mace Windu clone trooper, the General Grievous from the Clone
old.
Wars.
Old.
They just
those are old. Those are last year stuff.
Does it matter? Did I buy it?
Yes, it does. Every new figure Scott is buying. Don't let him fool you guys.
Okay, but those all seem exclusive or specials. How about the regular Black Series box?
I don't even remember what came out lately.
Well, there you go, Marco. He only buys what he wants.
You have the
he just likes
Kenobis.
what he
You have the Andor. Did you buy the
Andor?
Andor?
Buys them all.
I did not buy the Andor.
You didn't buy the double box set Andor.
No, that one I got too. Yeah, I got that. I didn't buy the individual.
You got Kenobi. You got the Inquisitors. Those are all like released late recently.
I got one. Well, of course, because it goes with Rebel. It goes with. I bought the fifth brother. Of course, I bought the fifth brother.
I'm giving you a hard time, Scott. I know you're picking and choosing, but you picking and choosing every figure that comes out.
I'm just picking. He's just picking them all. He's not.
Yeah, now you got me looking at what the latest waves were because I.
We'll talk off camera. But anyway, guys, let's get out of here.
Marco has a checklist of all Scott's buyings. He's on.
I know, right?
Well, he puts it in our chat too all the time. It's like he just got this, and he does the 1 minute toy reviews on all of them too. So it's like, I'm sitting there going, I thought he got out of the game. He's buying every figure. That's all right.
He's not.
Yeah, he is, guys. Don't let him.
He's not.
It's on. He's documenting it on our.
Wait a minute. Okay, hang on a second. I can quantify this. I can quantify this by bringing up this frame right here.
Sure. You're not going to get a.
I'm sorry.
You're not going to get Aelia Secura. You're not going to get her.
No, I am not going to get Aelia Secura.
Oh, come on.
I'm not going to get Aelia Secura. I'm not going to get the orange-faced Inquisitor lady right there. I don't know who that is.
He doesn't buy the girl toys. See how he is.
Oh, that's right. Wow.
Rough stuff. Rough.
I know.
You're right, because I don't buy the gaming greats either. So
I'm not going to buy the Endor Princess Leia. She's out already.
I'm not going to.
But you bought her already.
I took her back.
Oh, but you bought her.
It counts as a buy if you return.
Yeah, it counts.
That was the wave that made me decide to stop collecting them.
Man, I don't understand you guys sometimes.
I returned it. How about Leia Bosch? Did you get that one?
No, I didn't.
No.
He has her though.
No, I don't. I don't even have her loose.
Did you get Fennec and Omega?
No.
See, Lily does.
Fennec I did. Fennec I did. Omega
got, yeah.
What?
Obi-Wan, Fennec. Did you get Grief?
Grief Karga.
The Inquisitors?
No. Okay, you're asking me these questions about figures that are already released. That
I have Tarkin. On that entire board, I have Tarkin, and it's the old one.
Yeah.
I have them all too. That's the old one.
But yeah, the gaming greats, all the clone troopers, the Black Series clone troopers now.
There's just too many clone troopers now.
Yeah, there are too many clone troopers. So, yeah.
All right, cool. So none of us here wants to be wrong. I get it. So let's get out of here though. But that was a great worst stuff. I think we're gonna put the poll up. We'll actually put the Vespa game. We'll put Boba Fett up there and a few more. So anybody who wants to vote in the poll about the worst moment in Star Wars this year, it'll be up on the community channel on our website or the YouTube. Yeah. But yeah, that was fun. I like this. Even though, like I said, the worst of, I think we still have fun talking about this stuff, right? So it wasn't like a destroy Star Wars for us. So
still a good year. When you talk about the bad stuff, it reminds you how you felt when it was
happening,
and you're gross, and I'm mad about it again, and the Fett, and blah, 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 blah. But again, upon rewatch, when you're not worried about that stuff or worried about doing a show or just watching it to enjoy it, it's not that bad. You can get over a lot of the stuff. Joey's point, I totally get it. I see that in every show. I just move on past it now. I've gotten myself conditioned to move past. But
it'd be different if they weren't
every show.
No, it's not even that. It's the female characters are good, powerful characters. They're not. They're not like Willow.
I don't dislike any of the characters. And all you guys dislike Reva. I don't hate Reva. I don't
hate Reva at all.
I don't hate Reva. I don't like the motivation of her revenge plot. That was bad to me.
It was a bad plan for sure.
Yeah,
but not everybody can have great plans. We didn't make. She was just a kid.
Yeah,
when she hatched that plan,
Yeah.
She felt don't deviate from the plan. Stick to the plan.
I can't move. I made this oath when I was 12.
How many times have I been in the room with Vader the whole time? And she didn't have a self-preservation kind of thing. She could have taken Vader out and herself out, and just knowing she took Vader or Anakin out, right? and to do this whole, I don't know, we'll get into it, but yeah, it's just
when
my,
you say
my
it like
brain,
that,
I can't remember. Did she live or she died?
no, she lived.
He lived.
She lived, right?
She
joined the
She walked around knowing that Vader was Anakin, and and Luke and Leia was his kids
to lure
Obi-Wan
out.
One soul. She didn't say one thing.
That's right.
Yeah. To lure Kenobi out that she didn't even. Yeah.
No, it makes no sense. To let her live sucks because the original plan was to kill her. That was in the script. They've already said that. That was in the script. She was dying. They ended up letting her live to tell other stories, which they have a third sister, whatever the hell comic coming out, right?
Okay.
Something about or a book, something about the Red Blade, Wrath of the Red Blade, or Revenge of the Red Blade, or something. Gotcha.
All right,
not gonna probably get it.
No,
I'll get it.
Yeah, we'll have to. It's canon. I mean, where
it
goes. So.
And you know what? And Scott's point on the books. I hope I get some good books this year. Besides the Shadows of the Sith, it's been a lame time for books too. To Scott's point, the High Republic's not doing it for me.
Right. Yeah, even the certain point of views kind of went.
Oh, that last point of view was garbage.
Next year we should get the Return of the Jedi certain point of view. We'll see.
That should be
for the anniversary.
Empire should have been great, but whatever.
All right, guys, cool. Santo 14. Oh my God, it was always awesome seeing you, and hopefully we could do more conventions as everything gets back in the swing of things. Just to, even if it's just us walking around like we did with LA Comic-Con, it was so cool to get outside for a second and then run back inside. Get outside, watch Scott buy all the Black Series, and then run inside and then complain about them and then return them. You still bought them. Whatever, Scott. You can't deny it.
So with that, Marco, why don't you take us out, because I don't feel like doing it tonight.
So I just done pissed off Scott. All right. So find us on all the social medias. Like and subscribe if you haven't done. Tell a friend if you haven't. So next week will be our last show of the year, which brings us right into like a 1 week, 1-2 weeks of vacation, and then we pick it right back up with Bad Batch on January 4th. We might.
That's right. That'd be our day back, huh? We'll come right back with the show.
4th, Bad Batch, boom, right back. So
Nice.
we'll do a show next week. It is what it is. We might invite everybody on just to kind of chat about Star Wars and just kind of end the year that way. But this was a lot of fun doing the best of and worst of until the next season of Star Wars in 2023, which is the Return of the Jedi anniversary, also 40 years. So wow, that's cool.
Yeah, and I haven't seen a certain point of view. Now I'm gonna have to look that up, see if they're doing one.
I haven't heard.
They did one for Empire, so I'm assuming they would, right?
Yeah,
so,
that one failed horribly, as far as I could tell.
Nobody was
talking about it.
A New Hope was so much better. Yeah. But yeah, so follow us on all the social Star Wars Starlight Digest Central on Facebook, where the conversation continues. Of course, our 1 minute tour reviews are dropping daily because Scott's on fire with those. Doing an awesome advent calendar, building a joy and stuff. It's really fun to kind of live vicariously through that, because it's it's awesome.
You're making up for it. Okay.
Yeah, sure. But yeah, Scott was also, the art by Scott Solo too, and all the socials too. He's always active. He's doing something.
Trying.
But yeah, he pumping those 1 minute toy reviews are awesome. Chris is on Twitter. I don't know if he's twitting, but he's on Twitter. Yeah. So if you guys want to hit Starlight's Digest up on Twitter, Chris will be responding to you on that note. And Joey on his Instagram at bootleg on bootleg 760 _ something. What I don't know what it is. Thank you. I just know you as your profile pic, and you just click on yourself. Well, he's got to do his own channel and get his own stuff going on there and pump that up. So maybe 2023 will be his year. I don't know. We'll see. Ernie the Fallen Fett is out sick today, so we wish him a speedy recovery. But you can find him on the Fallen Fett Chronicles, on Toy Migos, here on Starlight Digest, toying around. He's everywhere. You guys know Ernie. You hear Ernie. When we were at LA Comic-Con, we heard Ernie 50 times, but never saw him. But we heard his voice. But
you hear that laugh? Like, no, Ernie's here.
The laugh. Yeah, I was like, there's Ernie. For all your figure stand needs, visit Tashi Station Emporium to get all of your action figures. You're loose because no one buys Mint in Box anymore. So you're opening these figures and they've got to stand. They will not fall over. I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
Or your money back.
Your satisfaction is guaranteed. I forget how Michael Scott Paper Company did it. We guarantee.
If you can't pick your figure back up and put it put it upright, I will give you your money back. All right, cool. But
don't make any promises. Edit that out. Edit that all out. No guarantee.
Yeah, exactly.
It should work.
Yeah, pose them. Put them up. They're stands.
60% of the time, it works every time.
Exactly. But yeah, guys, thank you, everybody.
Bow-legged, but he's standing.
Oh man, it is bow-legged. When you put it on the stand, it makes it so much worse, Joey. Oh my god. Dude, he's got two of the same leg.
You've got the lean, man.
The legs are on the different sides. Like you gotta swap them. Something's going on.
He's posing like he's got a sciatic nerve.
Yeah, those are the Gen 1 stormtroopers.
Pose him like that. Put his hand on his back and like leaned over.
If only I had an edible.
Oh.
Get the Emperor's cane out. Yeah. Oh man.
And sponsored by. Oh, sorry, Scott.
Yeah. We'll stand your bow-legged figures up 100% of the time. All right, guys.
Proof.
Thank you, everybody on our Patreons. Thank you, everybody in our pit. Until next time.
Like button. Stop that like button.
Oh yeah, we haven't done our most cheesiest bit ever. You guys got to need a wampa stomp that like button and bring up the likes and spread the word.
Now that 90% of our viewers are gone.
I know, right?
I don't have my
do it early.
wampa, but...
All right,
guys. Well, let's get out of here. Thank you, everybody. With that,
keep it nerdy, everybody.
You sure about that?
Within reason.
Within reason?
Yeah,
all right.
Within reason.